back at the win.
They make the long sprint down towards the last. The Widowmaker, now Miller's Bank finding his stride, and he surges through to take over. Warlord giving chase. The Widowmaker and Gin on Lime left behind. Miller's Bank safely over the last. He lands 3 lengths ahead of Warlord, who's chasing. 150 yards to cover. It's Miller's Bank, and now Warlord is chasing in vain. He's chasing shadows. Miller's Bank for Kielan Woods. Alex Hales and the Miller's Bank partnership win the manifesto. Warlord is second, the Widowmaker third, Gin on Lime in fourth. Pictori has effectively been pulled up.
Good fun?
That was a good feeling, yeah. Yeah, really good feeling. Yeah, one of the best feelings I've had yet.
At what point in the race did you think we're on here?
It just all went so straightforward. With a great spin around, he jumped really, really well. Couldn't believe how well I was travelling, going down to 3 out. Rachel was going a small bit right. I thought at the time if I landed up or inside, it might be in the winning of the race. Turns out I didn't need to do that, and no, it's just all so straightforward, and he was just unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean he bolted it basically.
He absolutely bolted in. I don't think there was any other Grade 1 won this week by 10 lengths. So no, look, he was very impressive. I'm glad he's showed us kind of the horse that we thought he was. I know it was unbelievable. Great training performance by Alex.
Yeah, I mean his first Grade 1 as well, which is phenomenal. He was quite emotional afterwards, as I think you'd expect. I guess particularly with a yard like that where he had 2 runs, I know, in Grade 1s, but you don't have a huge amount of opportunities. It's just naturally going to, you probably feel more pressure, and it's going to mean all the more to you.
Yeah, no, exactly. Look, Alex will be very limited on kind of these quality horses. He bred this horse himself. It's a real good story. He's always thought the horse is very good. I've always thought the horse is very good. So, no, it's just brilliant it all came off.
Jerry, just watching it back, he was just always going so comfortably, wasn't he? There were others in the race who you knew this is not quite working out. Pictori never seemed quite happy. Warlord, another one, but Kielan always had Miller's Bank in the perfect position.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. I'm sat beside him.
Yeah.
No, to be
he
fair,
got lucky.
I just loved the way the horse travelled into the race. You know, you didn't have to actually ask him too much until from going between 2 out in the last. You know, I just loved the way the horse just travelled and jumped his way around there. And I think, like I said, big day for Kielan, but big day for like Alex, like you said. I think that's one of the brilliant things about Aintree. You know, sometimes at Cheltenham it can be very commercial. The big trainers, you know, big owners, they win the big races. But that's one thing about Aintree. You do get a lot more kind of feel-good stories, and you know, the smaller yards and things do get a chance. And I think it's a massive factor with Aintree.
What have you, up until that point, what had you made of Miller's Bank season?
It was hit and miss. I missed a ride on him at the start of the season. I went elsewhere, and Harry Bannister rode him. I won on him in Huntington. And he kept the ride on him then, and lucky enough for me, Harry couldn't ride him in the Pendle the last day, and I got on him, and lucky enough the owners and Alex left me back on him. But riding him the last day in the Pendle at Kempton, it was kind of a bit of a revival mission. You know, he'd been on the ground twice, and we kind of went out there just to get a clear round into him and a nice experience into him again, and he's probably paid for that now up in Aintree. He had a nice experience in Kempton, and didn't have too hard a race, and we've seen the best of him then in Aintree.
How have you found the last few years? Obviously you've had notable Cheltenham Festival successes. This is your first Grade 1. You skipped Grade 2 altogether, haven't you? Gone straight to Grade 1.
Yeah, we haven't had Grade 2 yet.
Yeah, perfect. But how have you found support and things like that? And do you hope there's more forthcoming after this?
Yeah, look, hopefully so. I got the stable jockey job to Ben Pauling at the start of the year, which is absolutely brilliant. Alex Hales has always been a massive supporter of mine. I'd love to see Alex get a few more nicer horses now off the back of this. It'd be brilliant. But yeah, look, I'd be like Jerry when he was riding graft away, ride out somewhere different every morning, and suppose you make your own luck, don't you?
Do you feel with Ben that, and of course you had the Global Citizen success at the Cheltenham Festival, do you feel that there's, obviously with the move of yards, him moving his yard, there's a bit of a building now, it could be a really exciting place to be a part of?
Oh, definitely. Look, Ben Pauling's got loads of nice horses. we had the Cheltenham Festival success with Global Citizen, which was brilliant. Moving stables, moving yards, it can just perk everything up, and the new spot looks absolutely unbelievable. So that's all very exciting, and hopefully it'll be a brilliant move.
Was that on the Wednesday Global Citizen?
Yeah, Wednesday Grand Annual.
It's rain. That's what you want.
Yeah, rain's key for me.
It bucketed it down on Wednesday. It bucketed it down on the opening day at Aintree. You're the Grand Annual go-to man, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I think I've been just lucky enough to ride two nice horses in it, but the Grand Annual has been lucky for me anyway. Yeah,
it was a bit, I mean, Global Citizen was enough of a surprise, I think, to many. Ben had said he thought he had him in a really good spot. He said he was quite confident going into it.
Yeah, no, his work had just been unbelievable, all the way up to Cheltenham. His couple of runs over hurdles this year have been really good. He's been holding his form, which is brilliant. Something he kind of didn't do last year. The last bit of work he done before Cheltenham, Ben, I'd never seen him smile so much off the end of the gallop, and we were all absolutely delighted with him. But look, it was a surprise. If he finished in the first 3 or 4, we probably would have been delighted. So no, look, fair play and brilliant day, and it was great. He's actually owned by my sponsor, so.
Is he?
Yeah, it makes Andrew Megson, so it makes it even more sweeter.
That's great. It was a shame he couldn't run on the day where you had Shake 'em Up Harry. I know the Megsons had Severance, didn't they?
They had Severance
on the following
in the boys' race, and he just got touched off. But ran the super race.
They're fab owners, aren't they? They're great. They're great people.
Very enthusiastic. Love their horse racing, and hopefully they've got a couple of really nice horses coming through. So the future's bright for them. Yeah,
and the future's bright for you as well. But with that teaming up with Ben, Alex being a strong supporter of yours. Have you got anything else on the horizon this season you're looking forward to, or is that kind of, I suppose, Aintree, as far as the UK jumps racing goes, that kind of signifies almost the end of the season? I know
yeah,
you've got Sandown coming up.
I've had an unbelievable season. To get a Cheltenham Festival winner and Grade 1 winner up in Aintree is just unbelievable. I'm not sure if Miller's Bank is going to go to Punchestown or not.
That would be great, but
that'd be the
it's soon enough,
cake.
Isn't it?
It's just a little bit soon. I'm sure Alex will do what's best by the horse anyway. But if he could go over there and win over there, that would be unbelievable. A winner on the home soil would be class.
Shake 'em Up Harry finished third in the Red Rum. They went to Evan Williams and the last day. He gave you a good spin, didn't he?
Yeah, ran a super race. I was just flat to the boards the whole way. Probably didn't have enough rain for him on the day, but he came home like a train. Like, if you look at him there, he's
way back.
There's no way he's finishing third, is it? Paul Malone,
not even in the
picture.
Yeah, he's not even in the picture.
No, but he's absolutely flown home. Just albeit a little bit too late. So no, the future's bright for him too, and I'm sure Ben's got a couple of targets in mind now for him next season. Over a little bit further maybe. But yeah, no, super horse, and no, it's a great run, great for Harry Redknapp to get a horse in the parade ring and in the winner's enclosure in the Aintree as well.
Can we just touch on another notable ride, which was For Pleasure? Who did you always feel he was going to be outclassed, outpointed?
Yeah, a little bit. Look, it was a very competitive race. Edward Stone was coming in off the back of an Arkle win. Gentleman to me had a bit of rave about him coming from Ireland. He'd been very impressive in what he'd done. So it was a really good race, and third time lucky. Obviously, looked like he had to beat For Pleasure up in Doncaster when he fell at the last. So yeah, no, look, we just went out there to try and get the horse to run well and try and pick up as much prize money as we could, but probably a little step up and trip now for Pleasure next season. And
I thought interesting, Jerry, tactically in the race, the one point when we were previewing the race we kept coming back to with For Pleasure was, you knew Gentleman Debay was going to bowl along, but For Pleasure is a horse who can do that as well. So we were thinking, will they take each other on? But as is often the case, everyone knows, just as traders, jockeys, everyone, pundits know that if two horses do that, it can be curtains. So one has to back off, and it was left to Gentleman Debay to go out in front and make all.
Yeah, I think we've probably seen that a few times this week. It was probably the same with the 3 Mile Novice Chase with Ahoy Senor and Brave Man's Game. Both of them like going forward, kind of doing their own thing. So yeah, like I said, it's from a jockey's point of view, you have to be sensible. There's no point two lads going out taking each other on and cutting each other's throats. and letting it, building it up for a late finish or whatever. But like I said, I think the JP horse was very impressive that day. I think when he puts things together, he's very, very talented. He wears a hood and stuff like that, but I do think when things fall right for him and he can really perform, that's for sure.
Before speaking to Willie Mullins after that, I spoke to David Casey first of all, and he said, I ride him every morning. I said, what's he like? And he just said,
yeah, he does look kind of sharp, doesn't he?
He's tricky.
Even coming back into the shoot, like he was on his toes, he was revved. But like I said, he's obviously very, very talented. Yeah.
What pace did you feel you went early in that?
We went a nice gallop down to the first. We did steady up a little bit up the straight, but the minute they turned down the back, they've gone a nice gallop then. It rode a really good race, and I was very impressed with Gentleman to Me. He went down, he banked 2 out, and I thought he was very impressive to go and win in the manner he did after that. So he was very impressive on the day.
He's an interesting new sort of almost new kid on the block in top company in that division, because I suppose if you coming into this season, if you thought about that yard's Grade 1 2-mile novices, you'd have had Appreciate It, who we know instead over hurdles, Fernie Hollow, of course, who's met with setbacks, and then all of a sudden you had Blue Lord coming out and winning at the Dublin Racing Festival. But lo and behold, he's got another one.
Yeah, I think it just sums up Willie Mullins, his domination. Yeah. Well, in Ireland as well as nearly England, it's incredible. Like, you just see how many winners he's trained in England and how close he is in the Trainers' Championship. It's, the riches of horses they have over there. It's just incredible. They just, like you said, when one wins or one disappoints, there always seems to be another one to take his place.
Right, let's turn our attention to another big race win, another Grade 1 success, or a Grade 1 success for Milton Harris, but there was high drama with this race late on as well.